Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in this video, I have something very interesting that I wanted to discuss. And this was brought about by this morning's interview that Hans Vestberg had with CNBC. I did watch that interview. It was about 4 minutes roughly. And now we have a great article from Light Reading about it from Mike Dano. So I will leave this in the description down below. The title reads, Verizon's Vestberg still on the hunt for more content. That is why he is currently in Sun Valley, Idaho. He is literally on the hunt for more content deals. So he says there's plenty of streaming platforms that are knocking on his door currently, and they want to sign deals with Verizon. Why not? They have the best network for a distribution content deal. It seems to really be working. One, it seems to be really working for Verizon, or else they wouldn't be chasing this content. So on the back end in their systems, I still think they see an uptick in people going to the higher end unlimited plans for the value in that higher end plan. Disney Plus bundle now is going to run, I think, $18. Disney said it's going to go up to. Apple Music is about $9.99 a month, I think. You get Discovery Plus for a year. That's an additional cost. Apple Arcade costs money. I mean, all of those platforms cost an amount to the consumer that they can potentially save with Verizon on the higher and unlimited plans. Some of them are permanent. Disney Bundle, Apple Music, that's permanent. The others, you get it free for a year and then you have to start paying, but that's still 1 year worth of savings, which people consider that to be a big deal. Now, Hans very clearly stated on that interview that he's not done. He does say he doesn't want to go overboard because too much content. Actually, I'll read a quick quote from the article. It says, Vestberg emphasizes that Verizon isn't going to be promiscuous. We will also be very cautious, he said, explaining that Verizon doesn't want to inundate its customers with too many different types of content. Again, that is very important. There's only so much time in a day for anybody. If you have a regular 9 to 5, you work 8 hours, you come home, you got to pick up the kids, you got to get dinner ready. There's only so many hours in a day. So I don't think Verizon should go insane and just, all of a sudden we have Netflix and all Amazon Prime, whatever. We have it all on the platform. That's just entirely too much content that Verizon would pay for, which would bring value to the base, but not everybody's going to be able to watch everything. So I think Verizon has to take a step back and really see what plays they make that can really bring value to the plans. And I think a variety of content is cool too. We got streaming movies and shows with Hulu, Disney, ESPN for sports, Apple Music for music, Apple Arcade for games. There's a little variety there. It's not all just pure streaming. You could play games, you got music, you got sports, you got movies, you got shows. And then we got Discovery Plus. That's, that is additional streaming. But, there's different content on there. House hunting, cooking shows. So there's different stuff on there. People may like that. What they really are going for after next, that remains to be seen. We could hear something within the next couple of weeks or months that Verizon's going to add to the unlimited plans. Maybe Paramount Plus. Who knows? There's so many options out there for Verizon to grab from. They could start adding Apple One at a discounted rate. They could be talking to Apple. There's so many endless possibilities for Verizon. And the reason I say that is because, and I'm going to make another video on this and kind of talking about this from an overall standpoint with all the carriers, but I'm truly starting to believe that the name of the game going into 5G and then throughout the duration of 5G is going to be monetization. monetization is going to be a big deal for the carriers, because I think this generation is going to be the first generation where there's going to be so much capacity on air that the carriers will have to figure out how to monetize it. Verizon is clearly ahead of the curve on this. They're clearly leading the way on showing what kind of massive capacity is going to be on air. They're clearly in the lead with millimeter wave. Nobody's even close to them on that deployment. And that's where Hans Vestberg says this year is the tipping point as the economy opens back up and people in the fall start going to the NFL arenas. More people get comfortable with going to the NBA games. Millimeter wave is going to show proof that it is the capacity layer for those types of events. And Verizon is prepped and ready, and they have the most of it deployed, even outside the arenas, maybe further away at these restaurants where these people hang out. You will start seeing a much higher percentage usage on millimeter wave. So that in itself. How do you monetize millimeter wave? Home internet, yeah, but we're now starting to see people hit 4,000 megabits per second, 4 gigs on that connection. That's going to, even with home internet, that's going to be hard to fill that connection up. That's a lot of massive capacity. So they have to start figuring out how to monetize it. One way to monetize it is to become a content distributor, because you can upsell your plans now. At some point, if Verizon plays this smart and they add enough content and value to that plan, people are just going to start switching to it to save on the monthly cost that they would have to pay on this content. Disney Plus, like I mentioned, it's $18. Apple Music is like $9.99. And then if they add something else, maybe permanently, that's another cost. So on some of these, they could save up to $30 a month just by switching to that unlimited premium plan that Verizon offers. And I think with that too, we could start anticipating or seeing a more truly unlimited Verizon plan that mimics more of that Magenta Max that we've seen with, truly unlimited, no cap, no streaming cap, nothing. We could see Verizon introduce that soon. That could come still. So I think Verizon is ahead of the curve on this. I don't think AT&T has gone after content distribution in a big way. I mean, yes, of course, they have HBO Max. But beyond that, they haven't made any big moves yet. I know they recently got something going with Stadia, and they got like a 6-month free subscription with Spotify. But they haven't announced anything big yet, and T-Mobile has fallen way behind. And Netflix on Us was great when it launched. That was cool because they were the first to do it. Nobody else was really doing anything like that. But now Verizon has overtaken them in terms of the value on that plan. It's much bigger value than anyone has foreseen Verizon add in. So again, Verizon, I think, is really ahead of the curve. I think they're right now about 10 to 20 steps ahead of everyone. Millimeter wave is going to start showing what it can really do and what it's really meant for. The reachability, the propagation is going to get better on that band. I mean, is it going to travel like mid-band and low-band? Of course not. That's not what it's meant for. But could we start seeing it reach 25, 3,000, 3,500 feet? Sure. Samsung equipment is going up in Nokia markets. That's already showing that it can reach much further. We're going to start getting better beamforming. Eventually, 4x4 MIMO will go on millimeter wave too. I mean, that band is just going to get better and better and better. And then, of course, more densification will be added in as well with additional small cells from Verizon. They're doing 14,000 this year. They'll do 14,000 next year. They're just relentless. They're not slowing down. In the time of when there was a lot of uncertainty with the economy being the way that it was, and then the pandemic hit, Verizon didn't slow down. They increased. They accelerated. Spending increased by an additional $10 billion just to get C-band on air. C-band is an additional capacity layer that'll be added on mid-band. There's more to monetize on that. The home internet will expand on that, and more people will be able to get it. Now they could start monetizing the latency for gaming. Hey, you're a gamer, you want 4 milliseconds of latency, pay me an extra $10. I mean, I'm not giving them any ideas, but that's something that all the carriers are going to start discussing because they need to make money. They're spending insane amounts of money. They spent money to get the C-band, which is going to bring huge capacity boost. They spent money on millimeter wave, which is that capacity on that band is insane. They can probably drive that to do 5, 6, 7 gigs at some point in the future. And then the infrastructure that they need to put up is going to cost money too. More sites. They want to do 2,000 plus in rural America, more on a yearly basis. That's going to cost money. They spent 50 plus billion on the spectrum alone. So Verizon is going to have to squeeze and monetize any and everything that they can come up with to make it more value and attractive for the customer, to not make the customer feel like they're being nickel and dimed. So for every extra penny that you pay, you get something in return. And I think that's the strategy that Hans Vestberg is going with. And I think they're ahead of the curve on that by a long shot. I really, truly believe that. And, sound off in the comment section down below. Let me know how you feel about this. Do you feel this is the right strategy? Verizon is ranked the best network by a lot of firms across the United States. So if I'm a content distributor, I want to go with Verizon. They have the best network. I want my customer to have the best network while they're streaming my content. And I think a lot of these content distributors are now knocking on Verizon's door because they see the model is working with the Disney Plus bundle, with Apple Music, and they know Verizon has the best network. A lot of these guys probably use Verizon. So again, there's a lot to be excited about in the future, especially these unlimited plans as they get better. And to see, really excited to see what else Verizon is going to offer. And then the network is just self-explanatory. It's just going to get better. There's nothing that Verizon has ever shown in the past that should make you think otherwise. If there's densification needed, Verizon has added that densification because they had no other spectrum to throw at sites. So the density on large part is already there. Everything now is just icing on the cake. The additional spectrum, the millimeter wave, the small cells, the offloading to complement the macro sites. I mean, it's all icing on the cake. And essentially, Verizon is really building towards not having any congestion anymore on the network, which in the long run could potentially save them money. There could be areas that have so much capacity that they'll never have to build anything again for years to come, unless they literally see a slowdown. But if these millimeter wave nodes go to 4, 5, 6 gigs, I mean, that's going to be hard to bog that down. It can happen, don't get me wrong, but it's going to take a lot of people to bring that down, especially since it doesn't have a huge range to where it reaches 2 to 3 miles. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. That was a longer video, but I just wanted to talk about this and kind of let you guys know my opinion on this. I do think the name of the game will be monetization in the going into the next generation of wireless. I think even T-Mobile is going to have so much capacity on air, same with AT&T, that you're going to be able to pull 400 or 500 megabits during 2:30, lunch rush at 12, or just at 2:30 afternoon traffic, or getting off of work traffic at 5. You're going to be able to pull that speed consistently, no problem. So the carriers are going to have to start looking into more monetization to make money off of that access capacity. Is it MVNOs? It could be a variety of things. So I'll be looking forward to more news on that. So if you have been on the channel or you're new to the channel and you have not yet liked, shared, subscribed, to make sure you do so. Hit that notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Make sure to follow my social media outlets for more updates and interactions. Thanks again for watching. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.